When I spoke to my single friends, they weren't necessarily talking about dating. Well, one of the reasons why I wanted to launch the newsletter was that prior to writing that piece, I was getting really frustrated with how little out there was for people who are single but didn't actively date. And also that all of the pieces about being single just assumed that if you're single, you are dating, and that you're desperately trying not to be single as soon as you humanly, as soon as you can. And I felt like dating just dominated the conversation. When I spoke to my single friends, they were worried about rent increases when they had to pay the rent themselves. They were worried about how they were going to afford to go back to university to study for a master's to help with their career. They were worried about looking after their parents when they were on their own with no support. They were worried about what happened to them if they broke their leg and they had to climb up the stairs to their apartment. These are the things that they were worrying about. They weren't necessarily talking about dating. Sometimes they were, but a lot of the time they weren't. They were talking about all these other things.